how do you get to your subconscious level to...
Well, that's an important conversation, and it's going to go different than you think it is, because these are not subconscious thoughts that we're talking about. Because if it's unconscious to you, then it's not a big enough player in your vibration to be part of your point of attraction. And if it's not unconscious, then there's an emotion that you're missing. In other words, if it's big enough that it manifested, it was big enough that you could feel it. And if it's big enough that you could feel it, then you can't call it subconscious or unconscious. So what that means is you had stuff going on that you were ignoring. And what it amounts to for most people is you're willing to be mad, and you're willing to be mad at people for a long time over stuff. You're willing to find a way of looking at something that is so contrary to the way the true energy is looking at it within you, that you are introducing unnecessary resistance to your vibrational atmosphere. Are you getting this? Am I tolerating negative emotion under the guise of it's just the way life is, or it's just the way it has to be, or it's what was expected of me, or I didn't have a choice?
You know, I feel like I'm struggling in my head. Like, I try to get, my energy clean, and then, these thoughts come up, and I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Here's what we would do about it. So, a thought has attraction power. And when you ponder it just for a little while, even as little as 17 seconds, another thought like it joins it. But it's not just a specific thought about a specific person or a specific situation. It's all those thoughts that are similar in vibrational frequency. In other words, it's not just about this person who may not like you. When you get focused on a person who doesn't like you, suddenly all of the people that you've ever thought didn't like you start coming to your mind. There's a sort of vibrational library out there, and when you pick a subject and you activate a vibration, then Law of Attraction just starts downloading everything that's like it. Oh, you like that? Then you're really going to like this. Gonna like this too. You're really going to like this. You're really going to like this. Really going to like this, or really not going to like this. Law of Attraction doesn't care if you like it or not. It's just active. So here's some more, here's some more, here's some more. So when you just understand that conceptually, and you don't make it personal, you don't say to yourself, I'm failing at this, or I'm not good at this. Instead, you give yourself the benefit of the doubt, and you say, Law of Attraction is really a consistent thing. And when these thoughts start coming, oh, that's the wavelength that I was on. Something got me focused there, and I just stayed there long enough that it became stronger and stronger and stronger. The fact that the thought is active does mean that you do believe it. And saying that you don't believe it or calling it a lie doesn't make it go away, because the universe doesn't hear what you say. It's a lie. I don't believe that. The universe hears what you mean. And the fact that it keeps becoming active means that, in other words, a belief is just an active thought. So if it's an active thought, it is a belief to some degree. So just ask yourself, when you are aware that you are having some of those thoughts, what would you say the emotion is? What do you think the emotion of you is? What does fear indicate in the moment?
My inner being is looking at something differently than I am.
So when you feel that fear and you acknowledge it in that way, wait a minute, my inner being, source within me, is looking at this differently than I am. How might I see it more the way that source sees it? In that moment, you might be able to offer some words that give you some feeling of relief. And if you're able to do that, you have started the bridging of that belief into something that is more in harmony with what your inner being knows.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Subconsciousness, the thoughts that you think there, are they at a lower vibration, therefore they're not as effective as when you're conscious?
Not necessarily lower vibration, but slower in the sense of momentum.
Okay.
In other words, think about a thought that you think about, and the more you think about it, the more active it becomes. So there's more momentum. And so if you're not feeling emotion about it, then we would say, you could call it unconscious or subconscious, and we would also say it's not a big player in your vibration. Don't need to worry about it. If you're not feeling it, it's not affecting you. the question often comes back, but Abraham, I swear, I was not thinking about this. I was not saying this is something that I want or this is something that I don't want. That particular topic was not active in my vibration at all. And we say, but we're talking about this vibrational language. We're talking about how do things translate into your experience? Well, they translate from vibrations that you're chronically offering. Because what you're offering and what flows into your experience always matches. There is never a vibrational variance between anything that anyone lives and what they're offering vibrationally, because the law of attraction just matches things up. So the disconnect has to come in, well, clearly I'm offering vibrations that I don't mean to be offering. And what could cause you to get better at offering vibrations in the way you mean to offer them than to realize that you've been offering vibrations in a way that you don't mean to? You see what we're getting at?